Yes, and I like working with this target population. Yes, so that's the main reason why I decided to enroll in this program. So today, well, as I previously said, I'm pursuing a master's degree in English with a concentration in writing. This is something completely different. Yes, difference is huge. There is a lot of reading, so much books, theories, design, writing. Yes, so it's something serious.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Career Education Learning Center podcast. I am your host, Mitchell Rivers. I am TEHP. What is that? I am thrilled, elated, honored, and privileged to have Mr. Sierra on our show today. Mr. Sierra is currently getting his MBA at Gardner-Webb University. How are you doing today, Mr. Sierra?
Good morning, Mr. Rivers. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am doing amazing, man, especially since you came on our show. It is. Thank you so much for coming on our show today. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Mr. Sierra, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your current educational journey that you're taking on, getting your MBA at Gardner-Webb.
Yes, so my name is Nosbaldo Sierra. I was born and raised in Colombia, but in 2019, I came to the United States to work as an educator. I have a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Modern Language French. And I have 2 master's degrees already. My first master's degree is in teaching English as a foreign language. And the second one is in teaching English to speakers of other languages. So today I'm pursuing my third master's degree in English and with a concentration in writing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even come close to MBA. I can do NBA. I can't do NBA, okay? I can watch the NBA, but I can't do NBA. That is incredible, Mr. Sierra. That is incredible. Is there any reason why you went into English as your major in literature and foreign languages? Is that just something that you always wanted to do when you were younger?
Yes. To be honest, I have always been interested in languages. So when I first started my bachelor's degree, I knew that I was going to become a teacher after graduating. So when I finished my bachelor's degree, when I graduated, I taught French for a year. And then when I came to the United States, I taught in Spanish for 3 years. So I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to go beyond. And that's when I decided to enroll at Greensboro College when I started and finished my master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages. I was interested in this master's degree because I knew that the ESL population have so many needs. Yes, and I like working with this target population. Yes, so that's the main reason why I decided to enroll in this program. So today, well, as I previously said, I'm pursuing a master's degree in English with a concentration in writing. This is something completely different. Yes, so difference is huge. There is a lot of reading, so much books, theories, design, writing. Yes, so it's something serious. Yes, so the challenge is huge, to be honest. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far.
Well, challenges seem not to be an obstacle that you're not afraid to go and tackle. I tell you that. I mean, you're doing different subjects, you're doing different things. You love foreign languages, which for me is hard. I mean, I took Spanish in high school, like most Americans took Spanish or French in high school.
Yes.
And if you ask me, can I speak a little bit? Only a little bit, un poco, that's it. Very little. Can understand past a sentence or something. And that is incredible, especially for a young person that want to do foreign languages. Was it a stretch, or I've heard when you speak one language, 2 or 3 languages, it's easier to speak other languages. Is that true?
Yes. So I think that bilingual or multilingual people develop certain skills that make the learning process much easier, especially when studying in foreign language. In my case, I started learning English when I was like 15 or 16. And then I started learning another language, which is Serbian. Yes. So, yes, I was like 16 or 17. Yes. Then when I went to school, I learned French. Yes. So at that time, I knew 3 languages. 2 foreign languages, and of course, English as a second language. And after that, I have been learning some other languages, including Portuguese and Chinese, and the process has been smooth for me. I don't know if it is because I have that background or I know about the techniques to better approach this learning method. Yes, but it has worked so far.
Wow, that is amazing, because I had trouble just speaking 2 languages, and a lot of people, especially here in America, we speak 1 or 2 languages, and we don't concentrate on languages, which I think we should, which uses different parts of your brain. And I think from using different parts of your brain is starting to expand and use those type of concepts, like you said before, and those concepts go on to further you for other languages. And so, like you said, you begin to know the techniques and everything about that, and learn where they switch subjects and verbs and stuff like that. That is an amazing gift that you have to me. Anybody can speak 3 or 4 different languages. I mean, I was amazed when I heard Kobe Bryant can speak 5 languages, And the people, you know how smart it is? You have to be smart to speak 5 languages, I can barely speak 1 and 2 and trying to get out what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And what is ironic, Mr. Sierra, is that you went to Greensboro College, so did my older brother went to Greensboro College. You're now getting your MBA at Gardner-Webb. He got his MBA from Gardner-Webb. And so there's a lot of similarities that between you and my brother is so funny. Now, he can speak for a couple of languages, so don't even ask him nothing, okay? He may say he can, and I love you, James, but no, you can't. So how do you think the students what are the advantages of learning different languages? Because I'm a social studies nut. I love different cultures, different people, different way of life. I love diving into that. I mean, that's just who I am. I love people from all areas, all walks of life, and language is part of their culture. And I don't think anybody should lose part of their culture, whether you're Native American, Asian American, Spanish American, or who. You should bring that language as part of your culture and pass that on from one generation to another. So do you think it should be incumbent of that we start using languages early?
That's a very good question, Mr. Rivers, and I'm going to tell you why. So here in America, a significant percentage of the population has the wrong assumption that learning a second or a foreign language is not necessary because you guys already speak English. And if you speak English, you can travel anywhere and you can communicate without any problem. So, however, there is something important to mention here. When people learn a second or foreign language, they develop other type of skills, cognitive skills. Yes, and this person would have like a better understanding of the world. When you learn a language, you don't only learn the words, the expressions, but you also learn about the country where this language is spoken. You learn about their behaviors, their traditions, their beliefs. And when you have this information, you're less likely to face challenges when you visit those countries. Yes. Nonetheless, if you speak a second or a foreign language, you're going to have access to plenty of opportunities, not only in your country, but overseas. Yes. So adding 2 or 3 foreign languages in a resume is something appealing. Yes, it's something that companies are looking forward to see in today's globalized world.
Yeah, especially for international students, right? You had a lot of people want to be international business, right? I know America, we got international business and do a lot of international things, and everything now is international in a stint, right? From social media to exports, imports, everything's international. And so I think for students need to know is that if you can learn a second or third language, that's going to enhance your chance of getting that job and be more international and understanding the culture which you go into. And so it makes you feel more comfortable. You know the things do and not do. You learn different, even strategies for negotiations. So if you're part of a business and you want to negotiate a trade deal or some type of any other deals that you may have about real estate or whatever, then you learn the language. In sense, when you learn the language, you also learn the culture, right? And you're going to learn what things to do and not do. And you may learn different techniques in order to acquire that which you seek from that individual in a different country. And so I think, like you said before, there's just so many advantages for students learning second and third languages, and they need to take advantage of that at their schools, and even now you got so much stuff online, from YouTube, you got webinars, you got books still. Back in my day, we had books and recordings that you could take, what I'm saying? And to learn that second language and third language, that way you become more of a valuable piece for that company, if not for yourself, right? You'll be an entrepreneur. The more that you know about different cultures, the more you can expand your own business to that country or to that region, right? And so there are many advantages to learning different languages. That's why I wanted you on here so bad, Mr. Sierra, to explain to students that, hey, there are many different professions out there which you can see, and learning 2 or 3 languages is can be critical to your business or to the business who you serve. And so I think that is fantastic. How do you feel that students are learning today? Have you encountered students willing to learn a second, third languages when you was teaching?
Okay, so I worked for Cameron County Schools for 3 years as a second grade teacher. I was part of the Spanish immersion program.
Okay.
And I taught all the subjects in Spanish, and those kids, they were so motivated. They loved Spanish so much that they worked so hard to achieve the learning outcomes. And to be honest, I was speechless seeing this progress, seeing how all these kids absorbed all that information and could communicate at a young age. Back in my country, in Colombia, it's very challenging to find students like these. Yes, because we don't have those Spanish immersion, immersion opportunities.
Right, immersion programs, yes.
Those programs. So students would graduate from high school and their English level would be very poor. It would be very low. Nonetheless, here it is completely different. Yes. So today I work as a college instructor at Durham Technical Community College, and I work with the students from different countries, different cultural backgrounds, and I teach 4 different classes, and in each class there are like 17 different countries.
Wow.
17 different languages. 17 different beliefs, perspectives, behaviors, and this is something that's very interesting. It is appealing, to be honest. And I have had the privilege of seeing the students' passion about learning, and they're trying their best as well to succeed in learning, especially in English. So most of them are learning a third and a fourth language.
Wow.
So I even have students who can speak 7 languages. Wow. Yes, and that is amazing. They have been all over the world working as interpreters, as cook, as chef, and it is something amazing. Yes.
Yes, and you just got to saying it, and different jobs that you can get within that, cooking. A lot of people like to go overseas to learn how to cook different foods, right? So being an interpreter, like I said before, being a business negotiator for your company. There's many opportunities here, and that's what we want to stress here at the Career Education Learning Center, is that there are many opportunities, many careers that maybe you might even not thought about going. And that's why I might have guests like Mr. Sierra on our show, is that, if you can expand your language and that will expand your culture, right? You meeting different people. And you find out one thing that I found out going overseas, I wish I could go more overseas, but I plan to when I retire one day, Mr. Sierra, is that we're all just one good human beings, right? We're all really the same. We all want the same thing, a happy life, love our wife and kids. We have them, best for our kids and nephews, and just want to be well-liked, and we want to express ourselves and love one another. That's it, right? We want to express ourselves, love one another, live in peace, and just enjoy life itself. Everybody wants that, And so if you're able to dive in different cultures, that would knock down a lot of stereotypes. That'll knock down a lot of things, misconceptions there about different people. And you kind of find out, hey, we're really the same. We really want the same things. Happiness for our kids, our family, and just enjoy ourselves, And then when you go to a different culture, Mr. Sierra, then you go there, you find out they have different things you do, and you're like, man, this is wonderful. This is different. And it expands your mind. Like I said before, you use a different type of your brain, right? Different part of your brain, and really you become more of an open person. You're open to new things, new ideas, and they may expand yourself and your business and your career, whatever you wish to do there. And so, but I don't know how you work with people with different languages, 7, 8 different languages. That is incredible. That is just incredible that you do something like that, But in today's society, we still, especially in America, do you have any advice or opinion how we can just maybe get that across to our teachers or to our administrators, how important a second, third language is? Do you have any advice or suggestions that maybe they can do?
Yes. It is essential. It is essential. That is an essential component. Since, for example, I have applied to different jobs, and they have, in one of the questions was, do you speak a language other than English?
Yes.
Are you bilingual? Are you multilingual? And today I've been trying to share with my students, like with the new generation,
yes,
about the importance of learning a second or a foreign language, because they're going to give priority to the person who is bilingual or who is multilingual.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I think that administrators or in organizations should provide this type of opportunities to their workers as well, because there are different, here in the United States, there's people from different countries. There is a lot of diversity,
yes.
and they sometimes want to share this knowledge with their colleagues or staff members, but they don't have that opportunity. They don't have that chance. So it would be an excellent strategy to provide workers with that possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you said that, and while you were speaking, I thought about prioritizing. I don't think we make it a priority to do that. I think if we made a priority to do that, then it would get done. I think administrators need to know the importance of that, And like you said before, starting young. I know I have a young lady. I won't say young lady, she's about the same age as I am, but I'm saying young lady. And she got her grandkids speaking in the immersion program Spanish. And so now they're like, I think 7 to 8 years old, and they speak very fluent Spanish because they started early. And I don't think we start early enough here in America for you to learn that second language. And then once you get to high school or even middle school, you want to learn a third language. So by the time you graduate, you may know 4 or 5 languages already. You're already the head of the curve career-wise, like you said before, because companies are looking for people who can speak 3 or 4 different languages that bring more to the table than just a regular candidate, right? And language is one way that helps you enhance not only your resume, but your chances of getting that job as a viable candidate, because you can. And so if they want to go overseas or expand overseas, they would definitely look to you that, hey, can you want to be part of this team to go overseas? And so I think that we need to emphasize that more in our culture. We've done a better job than we used to do when I grew up, Mrs. Sierra, as far as second language, because now you do have emerging schools. I know here in Charlotte, we have emerging schools with different languages, and a lot of elementary schools are starting to teach different languages, but I don't think it's it's not broad enough. It's only a small population that learns that. I think there need to be a wider population that learns that, and then it makes us, again, be more viable as an individual and then as a country and a community. And like I said, it breaks down so many stereotypes, so many walls there. We can speak the languages and you realize what they're saying, and you come to know that, hey, we're the same type of people. We love our families, we love our communities, and we only want the best for our communities. I mean, that is essential.
One of the things that I love the most about the organization where I work at is that all the teachers, no, not all of them, but the 98% of the staff members are multilinguals. They're not even bilingual. They can speak 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 languages. And that's awesome because students from different countries arrive every year in the United States. And when they look for those courses or those English classes, they don't know how to communicate in English.
Right.
Yes. So when they see that there are people who can speak their languages, that they feel more comfortable. Yes. And the impact is completely different.
Yes, and that is a viable thing that needed, that it's good that you and your staff are right there and speak the multi-languages, and it make them feel more comfortable, because it's got to be scary for the student, right? You come in and you don't speak English, and you got to come into this environment, and I don't know how people do that. And I was telling my last guest that, when I took my license, I'm part of financial services group, and a lot of people that speak Spanish or different languages didn't speak English. And I don't know how. Look, I had trouble. I speak my language is English, right?
Yeah.
And I had trouble passing those tests. How do you pass that test when you don't write or speak English all your life? It's incredible. And they've done it. They have done it. They went to the challenge and they have done it. And I'm really even more amazed at people that can do that. I mean, go to a different country, wherever country you go to, and you take their courses, and then you're able to pass them in a different language in a different way. It is just incredible. It really is. I really enjoyed our podcast today, Mr. Sierra. Are there any parting words you have to say to our audience?
Well, go ahead and learn in second or foreign language. You still got time. As long as you're alive, you can learn as many languages as possible. Yeah, but remember that you have to be a committed, responsible, and independent learner. Yes, so any language can be learned as long as you are a committed student.
Oh, so I have to be committed. Even at my age, 50 plus, I can still learn, Ms. Sierra? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, of course. I mean, it is easier for young learners to learn a second or foreign language, but adults, they can learn as well.
So in other words, what you're saying is, in my terminology in my neighborhood, the old dog can learn new tricks.
Yes, because as adults, they have certain illnesses or certain disabilities that may stop them from learning a second or foreign language. Yeah, but they can do it. It's going to take more time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's possible. It's possible.
You hear it right here first on the Career Education Learning Center podcast. Anything is possible. That's what Mr. Sierra said. Anything is possible. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sierra, for coming on our show today. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
And I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners for joining me on another episode of the Career Education Learning Center podcast, where your career dreams are a reality. God bless.